The Bloodline just gained another title, and could even more titles be on the way. We'll see what the latest is there. We'll also check out another potential full circle moment for Liv Morgan's title reign, Edge, and more. Let's start things off with the latest big championship victory for the Bloodline. When Roman Reigns and the Usos had their Universal title and SmackDown Tag Team Championships in their possession, fans thought that this was as far as their domination over the locker room would go. But as we saw in mid-2022, the Bloodline took it up to another level. Roman Reigns unified both WWE World titles, and the Usos unified both pairs of tag team titles in WWE, doubling their total championship count from 3 to 6. And again, at that point, fans figured that the Bloodline surely has maxed out their total championships at 6. No way there's more titles, right? Well, the Bloodline has once again found a way to prove everyone wrong and take another step up to the next level. Solo Sikoa made a shocking return to NXT this week to successfully capture the North American Championship. The entire situation was quite the shock because everyone assumed that Solo Sikoa was done in NXT, following his main roster debut at Clash at the Castle. But that wasn't the case at all. He made a shocking return to NXT after being gone for a few weeks, and had secured yet again another championship title for the Bloodline. The Bloodline's title championship count now rises to 7 total championships. 7 WWE championships held by just 4 faction members. This is obviously historic and something that's never been done before in WWE. The Bloodline's case for being one of, if not, the greatest faction in WWE history continues to get stronger by the week. Who can really match up and argue against 7 world titles being held by a single faction at the same time? It's just unheard of. Since the North American title is still technically an NXT title, this means obviously that Solo's time in NXT may not be done after all. He'll no doubt bring his title with him to SmackDown to show it off with the rest of the Bloodline members, but it's likely that Solo will have to work double duty on SmackDown and NXT. So why did they give Solo the North American title? Well, the other title that would be up for grabs on SmackDown is the Intercontinental title. That title is currently held by Gunther, and he's just at the start of a pretty great title reign right now. It doesn't appear that he'll be dropping that title anytime soon. So they probably figured since they can't have Solo dethrone Gunther for the Intercontinental title right now, the North American title was probably the next best thing. It'll visually make the Bloodline look amazing when they're all together. Roman Reigns has his world titles, the Usos have their tag team world titles, and now Solo Sikoa has his own world title. No member is left out, and they all look strong and dominant with a title in everyone's hand. However, the only member left out of this little championship gold rush is technically Sami Zayn. So Sami may start to feel some sort of pressure looking around and seeing the rest of the Bloodline members with championship gold. Maybe he can have a little side story of chasing after the remaining WWE titles that the Bloodline doesn't have in their possession. Maybe Sami Zayn could start with Gunther and the Intercontinental title. Obviously, Sami Zayn will be unsuccessful in his attempt to dethrone Gunther, but it would still be entertaining to see him go out there on this journey to try and capture a title and bring it back to the Bloodline. Maybe Sami just becomes obsessed with chasing all the championship titles, but continues to be unsuccessful. The one WWE title that Sami Zayn could probably win is the 24/7 title. The 24/7 title is basically half retired right now. It has made some appearances at recent live event shows, but the title has been missing for a while from WWE television. The reports claim that Triple H is not a fan of the title and is in the process of fully getting rid of it, and maybe this is the storyline opportunity to fully retire the title. Sami could bring it back to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, thinking that it's a big accomplishment, but knowing the comedic reputation of the 24/7 title Roman and the Bloodline laugh it off and trash the title. It would be a decent way to officially write the 24/7 title off for good, while also keeping Sami Zayn's storyline with the Bloodline rolling. So that's just a theory for Sami Zayn's direction following Solo Sikoa's title win. But either way, the Bloodline now officially has 7 titles within the family. A new update on Edge has come out directly from WWE. Edge was last seen taking on Dominic Mysterio in the main event of Raw. After the match ended, Edge was brutally assaulted by the Judgment Day, with the focus of the attack being on his knee. Everyone's guess was that the attack was meant to write Edge off, and that's exactly what it was. WWE has released an update that claims Edge is dealing with a grade 2 MCL sprain and is out of action indefinitely. Fans assume that it's not a real injury, just a storyline injury with the purpose of giving him time off television for a while. The unfortunate part about Edge being written off from television right now is that we obviously don't have much time left with him in the ring. Edge made it public knowledge that he plans to fully retire in August 2023. So if he sticks with that idea, we're officially closing in on the last full calendar year of Edge's legendary career. So with the clock ticking on this final year of seeing Edge in the ring, hopefully he's not gone for too long. Hopefully we get to see him around Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, if it's going to be a longer sort of break, but that's the latest with Edge. But assuming Liv Morgan finds a way to hold on to her title and get past Ronda Rousey one more time, what could be next for her after that? Well, there's a big return on the horizon that would make sense for them to cross paths with Liv Morgan, and that's, of course, Charlotte Flair. A return from Charlotte Flair is usually doomsday for whoever is the current women's champion when she returns. Everyone knows that if you just give a few weeks after her return, Charlotte will have that women's title around her waist. So similar idea here, but there's a lot of backstory between Liv and Charlotte dating back to 2019. Liv Morgan was still new to the main roster and just started competing on her own back in 2019. Charlotte called out the women's roster, and it was Liv Morgan who stepped up to the challenge and tried to knock off Charlotte. Liv was unsuccessful in that match and would go on to grab the commentator's mic and talked about how she was going to get herself together and come back better than ever before. Liv and Charlotte Flair would meet again in 2020, and although Liv Morgan had gotten even better, it still wasn't enough to knock off Charlotte Flair back then. So now, the tables have completely turned. Liv Morgan is now the champion, and Charlotte Flair would be the challenger. So assuming Liv gets past Ronda again, this may be another interesting full circle sort of feud for Liv Morgan. She'll have to go up against a woman that has had her numbered for the last few times that they met in 2019 and 2020. And for Charlotte Flair, she's fresh off her return. She never got a rematch for her title after she lost it at Backlash, and she's hungry to get it back. That could be a great setup moment if Liv is able to overcome someone like Charlotte Flair. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.